Dinosaurs have had a pretty fierce reputation since time immemorial. They are portrayed in Jurassic movies as giant reptiles that roar and eat on an everyday basis. They roamed the Earth about 245 million years ago, where the landmass is just the supercontinent Pangaea. The vegetation during the Triassic period, which is Dino's period, looks completely different from what we have right now. Just like what we saw in Jumanji, the plants and trees are all chunky. Basically, the forests during the Triassic period are comprised of conifers, ginkgo, cycads, banatitales, dicrodium, and thin feldia. As lovely as they may seem, this lush earth garden, however, is filled with enormous lizards. The largest known dinosaur the Earth has ever seen is the Argentinosaurus, which weighs 77 tons and measures 30 to 40 meters. To know the fact that the land we live in today was once the home of these fearfully great lizards is something that gives me a chill. Well, at least they are gone now. I won't have to worry that I might just stumble upon a T-Rex while hiking. Although they disappeared hundreds of million years ago, they still remain relevant up until today. Of course, that is mainly due to their historical relevance. But aside from that, they also make a good chunk of cash. Well, it's not like they were subject to labor or what. What I meant is that their value is worth a couple of $1 million, and all you have to do is excavate, brush, and assemble. So, I welcome you to Class Act Luxury Channel, where we will be talking about the world's most luxurious things. This is your luxury girl for all seasons, and today we will talk about the most expensive fossil ever found in history. If you wish to delve into the world of luxury, hit the subscribe button so we can keep you updated with more of our videos. Let's begin. The fighting pair, Allosaurus vs Stegosaurus. In June 2011, an auction was held in Texas. The items that were being auctioned included meteorites, minerals, and fossils. I think you know now where we're going. The fossil of the fighting pair was sold for a thrilling $2.75 million to a museum outside the US. Now you may think, what's special about these fossils? The Allosaurus was given the name Dracula because of its deadly set of teeth, while the Stegosaurus's name is Fantasia, which was derived from a Disney film. The Allosaurus and the Stegosaurus were natural foes in the upper North America savannas according to their nature, because the former is a carnivore and the latter is an herbivore. But there was no concrete proof of that until in the spring of 2007, skeletons of both have been found in Dana Quarry, Tensley, Wyoming, by the team from Dinosauria International. The bones of the fierce pair were said to be an almost complete set of bones of dinos, nestled in a 155-million-year-old rock. The digging exposed the Allosaurus first, and as they go deeper, they discover Dracula's supposed to be meal of the day. It's like a picture-perfect scene of combat as the time preserved well the violent fight between the two. The jaw of the Allosaurus is positioned to what looks like a big chomp to the Stegosaurus's upper arm. That discovery gave everyone a solid confirmation that these two did in fact coexist with each other and had a predator-prey relationship once upon a time. The Allosaurus measures 8 by 17.5 feet, and the Stegosaurus spans 8 by 15 feet, which makes them almost equal foes. The trio of Diplodocus. Here is another achievement of Dinosauria International, which happened between 2007 and 2010. A team of paleontologists dug into what looked like a family of Diplodocus, or members of a herd, in Tensley, Wyoming, USA. They found not one, not two, but 3 Diplodocus fossils, which they nicknamed Prince, Apollonia, and Twinkie. Diplodocus is an herbivore dinosaur with rake-like teeth that gives them the ability to strip off the leaves from conifer and ginkgo trees. From its description, I think the names are justified. Although the Diplodocus is an herbivore, it doesn't mean they look softy. These giants are comparable to Brachiosaurus, who have long necks. Prince is an adult male Diplodocus measuring 88 feet, and Apollonia is a female one who spans 78 feet. And lastly, Twinkie the juvenile Diplodocus, measuring 39 feet long. Although Twinkie is dubbed as the little one in this trio, I don't think you can still call it little. The Diplodocus trio was discovered 80% complete, having two of the three skulls still whole. This trio was held for an auction and was bought by the University of Singapore Museum of Natural History for a staggering $5.8 million. To arrive at their forever home, the fossils had to be carefully shipped for 2 weeks. And upon arrival, the assembling of the fossils took 30 professionals to complete its look. Big Sue. When we think of a dinosaur, the first thing that comes to our mind is a Tyrannosaurus rex or T-Rex. And it's not a surprise that the most expensive fossil ever sold is a T-Rex, which we will call Sue. Sue measures 40 feet long, 13 feet tall, and weighs 6.4 tons. It was the largest T-Rex discovered and is so far the most complete for its 90% fossil structure. It was discovered in 1990 in the Cheyenne River Indian Reservation. It got its name from its discoverer Sue Hendrickson, although Peter Larson was also there with Hendrickson when they discovered the massive historical achievement. The digging took 17 days and 6 men. After a careful study, they found out that Sue is a 28-year-old T-Rex, which is a long life already in T-Rex years. How do they know though? Apparently, just like trees, T-Rex also grows rings that depict their age. Sue was bought by Chicago's Field Museum of Natural History for $8.362 million in 1997. But before everything settled, it first underwent a complex procedure. Larson paid Morris Williams, the owner of the land, a sum of $5,000 for permission to excavate the land. After retrieving the fossil, Hendrickson and Larson wanted to keep Sue at Black Hills Institute. 2 years later, the government learned the true value of the fossil, so they argued that it belonged to the government, since it was dug out of land under the trust of the Bureau of Indian Affairs. After a series of proceedings, the court's decision was to return the fossil to Morris Williams, since he did not permit selling the fossil, until Williams decided to sell the valuable fossil at Sotheby's. Since Sue is up for sale to private collectors, the Field Museum in Chicago started seeking help to buy the fossil so it can be subject to studies for scientific purposes. With the sponsorships of McDonald's, Walt Disney Parks, and California State University System, the Field Museum won against 7 other buyers. To this day, Sue remained a celebrity to the public. In fact, it has a Twitter account at Sue the T-Rex that tells people that their pronouns are they, them, since the scientists never truly found if Sue is a male or female. Stan the T-Rex. Sue made a huge fuss when its fossil was discovered in 1990, since it was the largest and most complete of its kind to be ever discovered. Let's call it Sue era. But just like an era, it rises and it also falls. I introduce you Stan the T-Rex who beat Sue. Stan was discovered in 1987 by Stan Sacrison, but the bones recovered are misidentified as Triceratops bones. The bones are identified to be a 67-million-year-old fossil found in Hell Creek Formation, South Dakota. Stan wasn't completely excavated until 1992, and later on, they realized that it was in fact a T-Rex. Stan measures 40 feet long and 13 feet high, which is exactly the same as Sue's. But what made Stan different from Sue is that it was found with more bones. Basically, Stan was the most complete fossilized dinosaur to be ever found. It was a major discovery for paleontologists in history. Stan has a set of 58 teeth and the skull is completely intact. Sue holds the record for being the most expensive fossil ever sold, but that record was broken when Stan was sold at an auction at Christie's for $31.8 million. Sadly, it was bought by a private bidder. It was bad news for the science community, since it would be hard to subject Stan to research studies. What is your favorite dinosaur? Let us know in the comments section. And that's it! Another video about the world's luxurious things. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Thank you for watching and see ya in our next video. Ciao!